So I need the slope and y-intercept. I'm trying to write an equation in slope-intercept form from 2 points. I need the slope and y-intercept. How do I find the slope between 2 points? Yeah, I'm going to use this slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's find the slope first. What's my y2? 7. What's my y1? 5. What's my x2? 5. What's my x1? And 3. So 7, 5, 5, 3. What's 7 minus 5? 2. And 5 minus 3? 2. And 2 over 2 is 1. So I have a slope of 1. Well, that's great, right? So let's plug in and let's take a look at what we have at this point. At this point, my equation would look like y equals 1x, but do I have to write the 1? No, I'm just going to leave it as y equals x plus b. And technically, yes, there is a 1 here. So our m is 1. Okay. Well, what I need to do is I need to find this b. Well, what they give us is actually a couple x's and y's. So we've labeled these as x1 and y1 and x2 as y2 to use these. So we know that these are x and y values. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug in x1 and y1. Well, where do you think y1 will go? For the y value. So 5 goes in for y. What should go in for x? x1, which is 3. Does this look like an equation we can solve for b? Yeah, how would I solve this for b? Subtract 3 on both sides. What's 5 minus 3? 2. So now I have to take and put b back into the equation. So I had my slope. My slope was 1. So I have y equals 1x plus b, and b is what? 2. So here is slope-intercept form. Not crazy difficult, just one extra step. Let's talk about what we did here. What was the first thing that we did? Look back through here. What did we do first? Travis? Yeah, good. So step 1 is find your slope. And I'll tell you this, in some of your problems, especially on HRW, it will just give you the slope. What did we do after that? What did we do with our slope? Good. So yeah, so after we find our slope, we plug in m, plug it in for m, and I'm just breaking this into 2 steps so we can see each one take place. And then our step 3 here, after we substituted our slope in for m, we substitute x1 and y1 for x and y. Yes, sir. Can you wait till we're done with the notes? We're only got a couple minutes left, I swear. Okay. So then we substitute in x1 and y1. Or step 4, and really it didn't seem like there were 5 steps, but we'll write it out as 5 steps. Once we had x and y plugged in, so once we had these plugged in here, what did we do? We solved for b. And our last step was to write the equation using m and b. Maybe we'll just work on it like this for now. Let's do 2 more examples of problems like this, and then we'll be done with notes today. So let's do another one. See if we can follow it step by step. Step by step. All right, 2 points, because we want to do them all. And let's see, maybe I start at -2, 7. And how about down 1 over 2 would be, how about 1? Sure, we can make it. No, I don't want to do 1 with fraction yet. Holy smokes, guys. I'm choking with my mind right now. Pause. There we go. -2, 7, and 1, -2. What's the first thing I should do? Drew. Find the slope. How am I going to find the slope? Yeah, what she said. There you go. Good. My m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What's my y2? -2. What's my y1? 7. What's my x2? 1. And then minus -2. What's -2 minus 7 more? -9. Very good. What's 1 minus -2? 3. And -9 divided by 3 is -3. So I've got my m. After I get my slope, what did I do? I plug it into the equation, right? So my equation right now looks like this. Y equals what? -3x plus b, because I don't have the b yet, right? What did I have to do after that? Go ahead, Travis.
You plug in x2 minus x1 equation?
Check your steps again. So we found our slope. We substituted the slope into the equation. So we're on step 3 right now. What do you think, Lacey?
Plug in x1 and y1.
Good. So I'm going to plug these numbers here in for these numbers here. And really, it's these numbers, right? These numbers, x and y, in for x and y. So it'll give us the equation, or we'll move from the equation y equals negative 3x plus b. And I'll plug in negative 2 for x and 7 for y. So it'll be 7 equals negative 3 times negative 2 plus b. What's negative 3 times negative 2? 6. 6 plus what number is 7? 1. So we could subtract 6 from both sides here, right? Or we could say 6 plus what number is 7? Well, that's 1. Well, we've solved for b. What's our last step? Write the equation using just m and b. What would the equation here look like? Is that tricky? No, not really. It's only 4 lines of work. Okay, let's do one more problem here. And this one I'm going to give you the slope because I think you guys are doing really well with finding the slope. So we'll make it a little bit trickier by making it a fraction. And you'll see that it's still easy. Okay. Oh, are you good there, Jude?
Yeah.
All right.
I think the fraction ones are easier.
I think they are too. But that's just because I like fractions. So here's our last example here for the day. If I tell you that the slope is, let's call it 2/3. Then let me give you a point. Let's give you the point. How about 6 and 4? Am I given the y-intercept anywhere? That's always the first thing I check. If this one's 0, I'm given the y-intercept and I'm done, right? They're trying to make me do more work than I need to. But if I'm not given the y-intercept, I'm given the slope. So step 1's pretty much already done, right? I found my slope. What do I do after I find my slope? Plug it in. So I'm left with y equals what? 2/3 x plus b. Okay, we're done with step 2. What about step 3? Go ahead, Drew. Oh, no. Change your mind. That's all right. Antonio. Good. We change y to 4 and x to 6. I've only got one option for x and y, right? So these are just my x1s and y1s. So I plug 4 in for y. And 6 in for x. Right, and that's what we're going to do right now. And it's not as hard as it looks, right? Fractions tend to be actually easier than we think they are. This says 2 divided by 3 times 6, but I can rearrange those. What's 2 times 6? 12. What's 12 divided by 3? 4. So 2/3 of 6 is just 4. How do I solve for b? Subtract 4. If I do it to one side, do it to the other. And there's my sides here. What's 4 minus 4? 0 is equal to b. Cool. There's one with a fraction. What would my equation be? Plus 0. Do I have to write the plus 0? No. So let's just leave it as y equals 2/3 x. And that's really about as tricky as we can make these.